Well, we are certainly looking at many changes ahead on Toronto City Council as we learn that Toronto Mayor John Tory will be stepping down. For more on this afternoon, we're joined live by municipal lawyer John Mascarin. John, thanks for joining us this afternoon. There is so much to get to here, just in terms of the process right now. John Tory is still the mayor. He has not formally resigned yet. He's indicated that he plans on doing that. Does that set any clock, or is that still effectively on his watch when, in fact, that happens?
That, Nick, is completely at his discretion. He has to file the notice with the clerk, and it's up to him when he wants to file it.
Okay, and when it comes to strong mayor powers, you know that's something that John Tory had wanted. He'd asked the provincial government for it. Had that granted, became sort of effectively a strong mayor, had that power at least. If the power is transferred at this point, for example, to Jennifer McKelvey, the deputy mayor at this point, do you understand, John, that she would maintain or have those strong mayor powers, or are they non-transferable?
Nick, it's really surprising to me, but I was looking into it, and in fact, they are not transferable to her. I was surprised to learn that she was actually appointed as deputy mayor under Section 193 of the City of Toronto Act, and that means that she only has very, very limited scope of authority, and I believe this has now been confirmed by the province, that those powers, those really recent powers that have been given to the head of council, Mayor Tory and out in Ottawa, will not transfer to the deputy mayor under this particular regime.
So clearly, John, that leads to the next question that we are then going to have, do you call it a by-election for a mayor, or do you just call it an election?
Well, you do call it a by-election, Nick, because it's outside of the regular election cycle. So what happens is after John Tory files the notice of resignation, which he said is going to do, the clerk then asks council to declare the seat vacant. At that point, John Tory will stop being the mayor. Then council has 60 days in which to enact a bylaw to hold the by-election, and that can come very quickly, or it could take the whole 2 months, who knows? And then the Municipal Elections Act kicks in, Section 65, to deal with all of the timelines for the nomination period and then when the by-election takes effect.
It's going to be interesting to see how this all unfolds. John, a lot of people have been talking about the cost to taxpayers that this is going to be. Typically, what are we looking at for a by-election like this?
Right. Typically, Nick, when you're talking about a by-election, you're not talking about a citywide matter, right? You're talking about a ward by-election. So you and I will remember Jim Karayanis back in 2020. He was booted out of office. Oh, then he was put back in. Then he was booted out again for campaign election financing irregularities. Well, the by-election for his Scarborough ward was $700,000. Multiply that by who knows how much, you're talking millions of dollars for the cost of the by-election for the mayor.
Oh, that's fascinating. So, okay, people are going to be talking about that a lot then, John. I also want to talk to you about sort of the nitty-gritty at City Council right now. They're supposed to be voting on the new budget, the budget effectively constructed by John Tory, coming up on Wednesday. We had Councillor Brad Bradford on CP24 Breakfast this morning, and he was expressing to me how concerned he is that this budget may be in peril based on Tory effectively being, I guess, a lame duck at this point. Can they blow up the budget at this point and effectively start from scratch?
They sure can. That's the question that everyone's asking, because before, with the strong mayor powers, as you indicated, it was John Tory's budget to maneuver through. And if council didn't like it, council could say they didn't like it. They didn't have to vote for it. John Tory could veto that. Jennifer McKelvey can't. So John Tory is not in the seat. Doesn't look like he's going to be. The budget may fall away.
Well, that would be so fascinating. We'll see if he's still there on Wednesday. In the meantime, John Mascarin, this likely isn't the last conversation we'll have over the next little while, but I appreciate your time this afternoon. Thanks for being here.